I'm always looking to infuse my wardrobe with staple pieces for the season ahead. Quince nails it with luxe essentials that feel effortless and look polished, perfect for layering and mixing. Think chic cashmere and cotton sweaters starting at just $40. Washable silk tops and classic denim pants. They're timeless styles that you'll keep coming back to. And the best part, everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands. And by working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middlemen, Quince gives you luxury without the markup, and they only work with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. I just bought a beautiful black quilted bag for travel. I'm thinking airport bag for the next lacrosse tournament. You can elevate your fall wardrobe essentials with Quince. You can go to quince.com/KateCasey for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/KateCasey to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/KateCasey.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows homes, so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish and satin? Or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews all on the app. Download Thumbtack today.
The amazing Kate Casey.
Welcome back for another episode of Reality Life with Kate Casey. I hope that you have had a great week. I hope that you've gone back and listened to all of the episodes this week. I felt like there was a theme to it all this week about learning new things, and I hope that you join me because, in particular, the episode on Tuesday was with two of the participants in the Netflix series Hitmakers. I really was interested to hear about the business of songwriting. And if you listen to the episode of the Kelsey Brothers podcast this week with Taylor Swift, she talked a bit about buying all of her music back. And I think if you listen to that episode or even read about it, you can go back and listen to my episode with those songwriters and really have a better sense of the importance of her ability to buy it all back. Then on Wednesday, I had an episode with a sorority recruiting coach. I gotta tell you, I got so many DMs about that episode. So many of you have been in sororities. Maybe you're going through the process with your own daughters. And I thought it was really eye-opening too. So if you're totally unfamiliar or fascinated by all things with Sorority Rush Week, definitely go back and listen to that episode on Wednesday too. And I hope that you listened to the episode that I did with Emily Simpson from Real Housewives of Orange County too. So in this Saturday series episode, I talked to Libby LAMONT. You know that feeling when you're scrolling through social media and a video stops you in your tracks? Maybe it's funny, maybe it's heartfelt, but suddenly you're invested and you're watching more clips, learning a little bit about that person's life. And before you know it, you feel like you know them. That's the magic and the mystery of a parasocial relationship. It's not so different from when I'm sitting at a hotel pool or in a restaurant, spotting a stranger across the way, and then wondering about their life. Where did they grow up? What do they do for a living? Do they have a family? This episode is that curiosity coming to life. A video captures your attention, you start following someone, and then if you're lucky, you get to ask them all about it. And that's exactly what happened when I stumbled across Libby LAMONT and her husband Ryan on TikTok, rating sandwiches of all things like they were fine works of art. They've shared videos such as reviewing top-rated restaurant sandwiches with Ryan and have even hosted playful TikTok tournament-style battles to crown the best sandwich. Their sandwich content ranges from exploring delis in LA, like the best sandwiches in LA, deli tour experience, to rating high-end culinary options and sharing their favorites from LA and Orange County's vibrant sandwich scene. And you may be laughing if you know me because you know I don't even eat sandwiches. But today you're going to hear from Libby, a Los Angeles-based wedding content creator, stylist, and a former film industry professional, about growing up in Minnesota, meeting Ryan, building her career, and how those sandwich videos unexpectedly connected them to thousands of strangers who now feel like friends. So here is my interview with Libby. I think it must have been, I'm going to go with about a year now. I came across your videos, I think on TikTok, and you along with your husband are eating sandwiches. Now, what makes this hilarious is I don't even eat sandwiches.
Why not? Are you gluten-free like
I'm
everyone
gluten-free.
else?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I haven't had a sandwich in like 18 years, but I love the videos because you guys are both so funny. Your dynamic is really funny together.
Oh, thank you.
And I think that's probably true of most people that we follow on social media. We don't necessarily, whatever their thing is, we just get to start finding things about that person. And it's like those parasocial relationships, you think you're a friend from afar. So I thought it'd be fun to learn more about you and your backstory. So welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you for having me. And I have to say, as someone who consumes a lot of content, I feel the same way about everyone that I love and I come across on social media. It's just feeling like I know them and I'm like on a FaceTime call with one of them while I'm getting ready or I'm cleaning the kitchen or anything like that, just listening to them talk about their day.
I know. It's wild. Well, this story begins in Minnesota. So you are an only child. Tell me about your family.
Yes, I'm originally from Minnesota, and I would say my love for all things food comes from being part of a family where neither of my parents cooked. So we would go out to eat. My mom worked at restaurants, so we'd have takeout a lot. And that was like my favorite activity, especially I think being an only child, you have an interesting relationship with your parents where you're kind of more like a friend with them in your life. And so like I grew up watching 60 Minutes with them every
I love it.
I grew up as kind of like a little old person.
Yes, me too.
And I think that it shapes you in an interesting way because you don't have a sibling to like fight alongside you against your parents. It's kind of like, well, if your parents want to do it, that's kind of the way it's going to go. And we'd go out to eat all the time. And so that's always been something that I loved. And especially moving to LA, there's so many amazing restaurants and places to eat out here. So my love for it grew even more. But I originally moved out to Orange County actually for college. I was in film school. So I came out from the Midwest as a dream to be in entertainment, went to film school and worked in entertainment for a while, and then made the switch a couple years ago into working in weddings and events full time. So that's what I do outside of the TikTok sandwich eating world.
Well, you mentioned your mom worked in restaurants. Was your dad a creative person too?
No, he is the polar opposite. I will never fully be able to describe exactly what he does, but it's computers. And he's worked for banks and all things complicated numbers, very different than anything that I do or my mom has done either.
And where did you grow up in Minnesota?
In a place called Plymouth. It's about like 30 minutes outside of Minneapolis. So it's a suburb of like the big city in Minnesota. So very like normal Midwest suburban vibes of what you would picture growing up in Minnesota to be like, but still like close to a big city, which was really nice too growing up.
So part of you is still very Minnesota.
Well, I think some people would say we just had people over this last weekend, and there's something called the Minnesota goodbye, which is when you're like at a party, you cannot say goodbye to everyone because everyone's too nice and they don't want to like cut up the conversation. So you like are in the backyard and then you say goodbye in the backyard and then you say goodbye in your living room and then you say goodbye at the front door and then you say goodbye at the car. Like, I feel like I kind of have that lingering Midwest, like social piece. I'd say with my vowels, I say bag weird and bagel weird, which is something that everyone on TikTok, especially when we have bagels, points out to me. But I think like in general, I feel really lucky to have grown up in the Midwest. There's definitely more of like a kindness. There's, a Midwest hard work ethic. I feel very lucky to have the upbringing that I did, even though we probably will be raising our future children in LA. So to navigate how that might be a little bit different. But my husband's born and raised in LA, and I feel like he does not seem like it in a good way. So that's a silver lining that hopefully we can carry through.
Did you guys watch Love is Blind when it was in Minneapolis?
Oh my gosh, of course, every season.
And did you feel like the good people of that show represented you very well?
I think so.
Yeah. They seem nice.
I feel like every Love is Blind season, the names of the people unfortunately escape me afterwards. So
Right.
It's like they're a part of my everyday life, and then it escapes me. But yeah.
Well, did you know that the guy Joey with the long flowing hair who wants to be Fabio is now dating Sarah, she was with the guy who pretended that he was religious and seemed to hire the fake friends?
I did not know that. That is
they're
not
now together.
across my TikTok algorithm somehow.
So you get to LA. First you get to Orange County. Did you go to Chapman?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And what did you think of Orange?
I thought Orange as a town is the cutest area. It's a very quintessential college experience. I feel like the little downtown with all of the little mom and pop restaurants, and the campus is really beautiful. The film school was amazing, and I'm still really close to all of my friends that I made there. And I felt really lucky having that kind of built-in friend group moving to Los Angeles, especially working in entertainment as my first job. I worked as an assistant at a talent management company, and everyone was from all over the US and was leaving their families or different things like that. So I felt lucky that I had a lot of people from Chapman that also moved up to LA at the same time as me.
So when you're leaving Minnesota and you're on your way to Chapman, what is your big dream?
I actually at the time was a screenwriting major, but in full disclosure, the only reason I applied to screenwriting specifically within the film school was because it was the only major where you didn't have to actually film a short video. And I was I have no idea who's going to be in my short film in Minnesota. So it was the only one where you had to write something. And so I was oh, okay, great. I can write something and talk about my love for movies and everything that I want to do. But looking back, I'm really glad that I did that, because I feel like the screenwriting piece of it was a really good base for that in my entertainment career, because obviously everything starts with a script and you really learn about people and how people talk. And I think it makes you analyze and study people in a different way that's kind of useful for anything when you're trying to then create characters on the page that emulate how people actually behave.
Summer's winding down, and while I like to be back in my routine, I am looking for a refresh, and that's why I've been working around my house, making slight changes that are elevating each room and outside. Wayfair has been my go-to. The girls have new pictures on their walls. Jack has new linens. I've swapped out our picture frames in the living room. We have new accessories on bookshelves, and now that Mia's cooking more, we got all new cookware. And we're thinking about getting Hayes a trampoline for the backyard to work on our aerials too. I'm telling you, all of this I have found through Wayfair. Our house style is coastal. There are infinite options that make me feel like I'm steps away from the sand. So I know that with every style that you guys like, you're going to get it. You're going to find it on Wayfair, and no matter your space or budget. So they're going to make it so easy for you to tackle your home goals with endless inspiration for every space and budget, and free and easy delivery even on the big stuff. So this is what I want you to do. Get organized, refreshed, and back to routine for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. This show is sponsored by Liquid IV. I'm soaking up the last bits of summer while feeling the pullback to routine. I've been enjoying going on a ton of hikes, and it's really important to stay hydrated. Liquid IV is easy and it's convenient. You just tear, pour, and enjoy. Just one stick and 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. Staying hydrated is so important, especially in the heat, fueling up for sports, feeling yourself after a long trip, or even a night out. Now, remember that delicious popsicle that you would get at a summer birthday party? Well, Liquid IV has captured that taste with the Orange Vanilla Dream Hydration Multiplier. It's going to remind you of that popsicle. That nostalgic vanilla flavor with notes of candied orange can help you feel hydrated better than water alone. Again, grab your water, tear, pour, and enjoy, and stay hydrated this summer. Visit liquidiv.com, and I want you to use the code Kate Casey at checkout for 20% off your first order. Again, visit liquidiv.com and use code Kate Casey at checkout for 20% off your first order. So as you move into LA, you've left school, you're with your tribe, you're doing a total St. Elmo's fire kind of thing. You get to LA. First job is the assistant at the talent agency?
Yes. And I lived with two of my best friends. One of them was a flight attendant and one of them worked in PR. And yes, very early 20s, living paycheck to paycheck, basically just, ramen noodles and paying up for our rent. And that was about it. And then, of course, nights out on the weekend, which is when I met my husband, Ryan. We've been together 11 years. I met him when I was 22 and he was 25. And his friend and roommate at the time worked at the company that I worked at, and they just had a bunch of the assistants over for a pregame for the bars. Ryan's always like, why do you tell people we met at a pregame? Just say we met at a party. And I'm like, well, it was a pregame for the bars. It's a, important detail to the story. But we met and just spent the whole night talking, went on a date that week to a restaurant that's since closed. The Wilshire was one of our favorite places. And we basically were dating from that moment forward.
And what was he doing when you met him?
He's always worked in communications. So he was at an agency at that point in time.
And most of your friends at that time, had they all wanted to work in agencies or in the movies?
None of my friends from college were actually in the film school with me. So they were all in like various careers, except for a couple that did PR at the studios. And then of course I started to gain friends that were within the film industry and things like that. But all of my other friends were really just doing all different kinds of stuff. Anything from like tech to flight attendants to bartenders, social media, all different kinds of paths.
What about your parents? They come out to visit you. Are they feeling like you are in a totally different planet?
They're so used to it now. They come out a lot. Maybe not a lot, but a lot compared to, I feel like I'm lucky that I get to see them a few times a year out here. And then I go home at least twice or maybe 3 times a year to Minnesota. And they love having, the experience of going to Craig's and seeing celebrities. My mom saw Rod Stewart and it was like the highlight of her life.
Yes, absolutely.
And they love, obviously escaping Minnesota winters for amazing warm California weather. So no complaints there.
So how quickly into meeting Ryan are you thinking, I'm probably going to marry this guy?
Pretty quickly, honestly. I had not really been in any serious relationships before I met him, and I was not looking to be in one at all. I was 22. I just moved to LA with my best girlfriends. All of us were single, and I did not want to be the one with a boyfriend, but there was just something about him that I knew it was meant to be.
So how far into the relationship before he proposes?
We were dating, I think like 7 years before he proposed. I think this is partially maybe an only child thing too. Even though I knew that I wanted to spend my life with him, it took me a long time to feel comfortable moving in with him. I liked having my own space. And so then once we moved in together, I basically was like, oh, okay. That was like, to me personally, what was like the crazy big life decision. I feel like it's moving in, getting married, obviously, and then having kids is the next, biggest life decision, or maybe having a pet for the first time somewhere in there on the responsibility list and sharing a living being with him. But moving in was definitely like the biggest, crazy big step for me. And then from there, I was like, oh, okay, now we can get married whenever.
Now, explain to everybody Ryan, because he seems very direct and funny in a way that surprises me that you say he's originally from LA, because he very much feels East Coast to me.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like he does not. Most people are surprised when they say he's from LA, but I also feel like most people are surprised when anyone says they're from LA because it's a transplant. So when you say you're actually from LA, people are like, what? But yeah, he's very outgoing, very honest, very funny. I said this in my vows, which I have also been on our TikTok. But my mom always told me to always make sure you're with someone who makes you laugh, because when shit hits the fan, you don't want to be with someone who can't at least make you smile at the end of the day. And that is truly him in our relationship to a T. Like, even when he's the reason I'm mad, if he did something, he can still find a way to make me laugh. And I feel like at the end of the day, we're really best friends first. And that's why it works so well. And we have like the same values and a lot of the same interests and things, but we're really opposite in the way that we handle situations and look at things, or even like the way we stress about things. We stress about completely opposite things, which I think is helpful because one of us can always talk the other one off the ledge.
Yeah. So you said he works in communications. What was his big dream when he was a kid?
Probably to be on the Lakers basketball team.
He does seem to talk about the Lakers a lot.
I'd say he's a realistic person, so he knew that was not going to be it. But I'd say as a kid growing up, probably like working for the Los Angeles Lakers in some way would have been his dream. But he loves working in communications, and him and I are very different because he's more on, of a corporate Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And I feel like my job has always been, even when I was working in entertainment, which was technically more of like an office 9 to 5 job, even with that, it was always a little bit different. So he's definitely more of a schedule and structure side of things than I am.
So you put out the video of part of your wedding where you talk about your vows. You did your vows. And they were so romantic and sweet. Am I wrong to assume that he probably had a very nice proposal?
He did have a very nice proposal. That also was one of my first TikTok videos that went viral because so he planned to propose down in La Jolla near San Diego. And so we were there for the weekend and we were getting ready to go down to the beach for sunset for a drink before going out to dinner, something very normal that we do all the time, go get a drink and then go out to dinner. And he started putting on dress pants. And he's like the kind of person who would never wear dress pants unless I told him we were going to someone's wedding. Like I was like, why in the world are you wearing dress pants? And he was like, oh, okay, I don't know. And so he quickly like put on jeans, being like, I don't want to, make her suspicious. But he hadn't thought about, I guess, how the ring box was going to be a little bit of a tighter situation when he was wearing tight jeans. So when we went down to the beach, he had this whole setup and he does this whole speech and he gets down on one knee to propose and he literally cannot pull the ring out of his pocket. And there's video of it because he had our friends and family surprise us afterwards. And they were in the restaurant across the street watching like from behind the windows, recording it. And I'm not kidding. You can look at the video. I'd say it's like at least almost a minute of him trying to get the ring box out of his pocket because the jeans were too tight. So then that video went viral and then it was on the Daily Mail and all the comments were like, oh my God, this loser guy in his skinny jeans just ripping him apart. So he's been on display on the TikTok universe for a while in terms of all things in our relationship, from proposal to wedding to now eating sandwiches.
Oh, hey.
Hey, thanks for meeting me here on such short notice. This place isn't bugged, is it?
Bugged? Wait, Jamie, what's going on?
It's just, you're my only lawyer friend, and I need your professional opinion. Do you see that brand new Hyundai Tucson out there?
Yeah?
That's all I paid for it.
I think I need to get back to you on that.
Do you know what you want?
Yeah, I do now.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the car or SUV you've always wanted, plus America's best warranty at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. The guilt is real, but so is the savings.
Listen, I don't want to get in your business, but if that's all she paid for it, I'll have what she's having.
It's a great day for a new Hyundai at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event going on now. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on all Hyundai Palisade, Santa Fe, and Santa Fe hybrid models. And check out our other great deals at your Hyundai dealer today. Offer ends September 2nd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Every idea starts with a problem. Warby Parker's was simple. Glasses are too expensive. So they set out to change that. By designing glasses in-house and selling directly to customers, they're able to offer prescription eyewear that's expertly crafted and unexpectedly affordable. Warby Parker glasses are made from premium materials like impact-resistant polycarbonate and custom acetate. And they start at just $95, including prescription lenses. Get glasses made from the good stuff. Stop by a Warby Parker store near you.
So tell me, after the wedding, how soon after do you start doing the sandwich videos, or did it actually come before the wedding?
So it was probably at least a year after the wedding. I started posting on TikTok leading up to our wedding, just kind of talking about the different things that I was doing, especially things that I was doing to save money and be a bride on a budget, just because I personally planning my wedding was constantly on TikTok looking for ideas and other possible solutions and things like that. And one thing I ended up doing was doing my own flowers for my wedding. So I was posting a lot about that and then posting a lot about our wedding. And from there, well, I'll rewind for a second. So I started posting a lot about our wedding. And then for our 1-year anniversary, I posted Ryan's wedding vows, like the full length of them. And so those went crazy viral. And then I started posting even more stuff from our wedding. And then kind of started to realize that I wish that I had more video footage from our wedding that I could be posting and sharing about. So that's how I ended up switching from working in entertainment on the film and TV side to working in weddings, doing more video and photo capture for couples so that they could, have that easy access to their memories for their own, safekeeping or for social media or things like that. And in terms of the sandwiches, honestly, we've just always been huge foodies. And when we first started dating, before we lived together, we would go on weekend trips all the time to somewhere close like Santa Barbara or Big Sur. And we'd always be like in the car looking on Yelp for like the best sandwich place to get on the way there. And I had seen some videos on TikTok recently of a place called the Cheese Store of Beverly Hills. And I was like, oh my gosh, these look so good. And I was like, Ryan, would you ever do a sandwich review with me? And we still joke about, I have no idea why he said yes, because he's not a big social media person. He does not like post on his own pages or anything like that. But he had gotten a little taste of really nice positivity from the internet when his vows went viral. So I was like, okay, I think he'll say yes. And he did. And then that first one was really fun and did really well. And so then we did another one for Ghost Sando, which is one of our favorites. If you have, you can't have gluten-free. You're gluten-free, never mind. But I'll have to make a list for you of sandwich places that offer gluten-free bread. But they have amazing Dutch Crunch bread. And that video went really viral. And then they sent us a message, the owners did, and said, like, we can't thank you enough. Like, we're just like a mom and pop business.
Oh.
Just husband. And like, we've just had the longest line. And we were like, oh my gosh, this is like the most incredible feeling in the world.
How special.
Helping small businesses by just eating sandwiches that we love. And now it's kind of snowballed into like, we can really discover all of these different places that we would have never tried before that are spread out all over the city. Obviously, living in LA, you get used to really trying all the places that are very concentrated in your neighborhood because no one wants to deal with the traffic. But we've been venturing out to other areas and trying so many different delis and sandwich places now. And it's been really fun to see other people now like being driven to go and try those places too.
For that couple that you just mentioned, have they continued to see a rise in people that are interested in their sandwich shop?
Yeah. And the fun thing about reviews too, I think on TikTok is then it also inspires other people to go review that place. So it's kind of like a constant resurgence of excitement towards it. And yeah, they've opened up a couple other locations since.
Oh, wow.
And one that's really close to where we live. So it's great.
Have you had any other experiences that are special like that?
Yeah, we just had one. We drove to Whittier, which,
I think I saw that
LA,
one.
Sherman Oaks to Whittier is like a full day experience. And that video went crazy viral too. And they like sent us a screenshot of the camera from inside their restaurant showing like the line out the door and how they were selling everything and how exciting it was. And it's really fun, especially I think post-COVID and everything that all of the restaurants in LA have been through in the last few years. And with everything that's been going on this year, it's fun to be able to just remind people to go support local businesses around them. And just there's no better thing than eating some good food. So it's not like it's a hard thing to do either.
Sometimes I wonder, oh gosh, are they going to run out of places? So are you going to go back to some of those places and try things you didn't try?
People ask us that all the time. And I'm like, if they saw the Google Doc sheet that I keep of recommendations, it's truly never ending. There's so many amazing places we've never tried before and so many places that are constantly opening. So it feels limitless.
And do people send them from like other counties, like Orange County?
Yeah. And I do weddings in Orange County quite a bit. So I'll sometimes bring them back after a wedding, or Ryan will come down with me for the weekend. So we've done some in and around Orange County too, or in San Diego. And it's fun too, because whenever we travel other places, we were in Miami a couple months ago. So we're like, oh, we'll go find like some amazing Cuban sandwiches and different things like that, which were really fun.
So with your new job, are you traveling all the time? And does he get to go with you often?
I travel, I'd say at least like 2 weekends a month are like an overnight wedding, meaning like even if it's just in like the desert. I do a lot of weddings in the desert. If they're in Orange County or even just, like Santa Barbara or Montecito or places like that, sometimes won't necessarily consider it a travel day where I'm having to stay an overnight. But yes, he does come with me a good amount. Unless we need someone home to stay with Crouton, our cat, then he'll stay with her and have a daddy-daughter day.
So of all these places, what are some of the things that people need to know? Number one, Ryan does not like lettuce, correct?
Correct. No lettuce. And I will say, I love lettuce outside of sandwiches. I eat salads often. I don't have anything against lettuce, but I will say not getting lettuce on sandwiches due to him, I don't miss it. It definitely takes away some of the flavor because it's just kind of blah and crunch. And I feel like it is kind of unnecessary. So I've started to see his side of it. But yes, no lettuce for him. And a lot of times no pickles or pepperoncinis or other green vegetables.
And everything is on the table for you?
Yeah. I'm not really a very picky eater. I'll try anything.
And thus far, number one at the top is what?
It's a good question. So we actually did a sandwich tournament at the end of last year where we tried all of these sandwiches back to back at the same time because we felt like otherwise we couldn't decide which one was better unless we were literally tasting them right in a row. And the winner was the number 19 from Langer's, which is a pastrami sandwich, which is amazing. But I think I need to redo my like top 10 or top 20 roundup soon because we had Uptown Provisions in Whittier, which I think would possibly take the number one seat now for LA County.
I think I remember that video. And it was like the pastrami was really crispy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So good.
So does this make the two of you feel like you've got a sandwich shop in your future? Like you have the wherewithal to start a restaurant or a sandwich shop?
Possibly. I don't know. We talk about that it would be fun to do that one day where it's like a sandwich shop, or Ryan is also really good at making margaritas. So some kind of like cocktail bar where they also serve sandwiches and maybe a dream. And we talk about that we would call it Mary Wayne's because that was my grandma's name. And I actually met Ryan the weekend after her funeral. So there's always been like this connection with our relationship with her. And she was just the best. And I feel like Mary Wayne's is like the cutest name for / cocktail bar.
So there are women right now who are beginning the process of planning their wedding. Tell everybody where they can find you and how you can help them.
Yeah. So my Instagram is Candid Content Weddings. And what I do, how it started was really doing social media for couples. So couples who were interested in posting right away. And it's really morphed over the last 2 years into being much more of like a fun kind of documentarian BTS style of their day, capturing the day from start to finish and getting a lot more of the kind of raw, candid moments than a traditional videographer or photographer, because it is all iPhone content. So I find that not only the couples, but also, their bridal parties, their families and friends are a lot more relaxed because people are used to having phones around them rather than when, someone whips out like a big video camera or a big camera. People tend to kind of tense up or pose or different things. So I find that you get a lot more authentic capture of the day, which is really fun. And you get all of it the next day since it's iPhone content. So you can relive it all right away and share it with your friends and family while you wait for professional photos to be turned around. And I would say, I'm so glad that TikTok is a resource for so many couples because there's just so much information on ways you can do things in a creative way and ways that you can splurge and save. So I share a lot of those tips as I'm going to weddings on my TikTok page, which is just LIBBY LAMONT. And, everyone can splurge and save however they want. For my own wedding, we wanted to have an open bar and a live band. So I did my own flowers. Some people want to go crazy on cake because they love cake and they want to have a really crazy big tiered cake. But I just posted the other day about how, as a wedding content creator who works a lot of weddings and tries a lot of different cakes, my absolute favorite one that hits every time is the Costco sheet cake. That's only $20.
What?
So that's an option for brides who are looking to save in that way. And it just kind of depends on, I always tell couples that I'm meeting with for the first time, figure out like what your hills to die on are, like the things that are the most important to you. And then those are kind of the places that you can splurge. Then you can find other ways to save on things and be creative, because juggling budgets and, the emotions and finances and family dynamics that come with weddings can be stressful for couples for sure.
Well, I'm not going to get that out of my head. The Costco sheet cake. Is there one other thing
that's so good? I realized
it's
that people
crazy.
didn't realize this because I was at a family wedding a few weeks ago in Fargo, North Dakota, and my parents and Ryan were eating the cake and they were like, "Oh my God, this cake is incredible." And I was like, "Yeah, it's from Costco." And they were like, "Oh, Kylie told you it's from Costco." We didn't know if it was like from a random bakery in Fargo that we hadn't heard of. And I was like, "Oh, no, she didn't tell me. I can recognize a Costco sheet cake anywhere. Like, I'm positive it is." And then they asked her afterwards and it was. But they are so good. They're $25. They serve 50 people. So even if you had like a wedding of 150 people, it's only $75. They're like either vanilla or chocolate. The one that is like most typical or classic, I'd say, is the vanilla one. And it's delicious. They're so moist. The frosting is like kind of like a cream cheese frosting. So it's not too sweet. And they're perfect. They hit every time. And sometimes couples at weddings will even have like a local bakery that they love, or like, someone known for like making really beautiful wedding cakes, do like a simple small one that's really pretty for them to cut. And then in the back, the kitchen will have a bunch of Costco sheet cakes
that's brilliant
to everyone.
Well, again, tell everybody where they can follow you guys.
So on TikTok, it's just at LIBBY LAMONT. And on Instagram for our food videos, it's Lamonts on the go. So it's showing us, traveling and eating different foods in and around LA. And also, anywhere from the summer, we went to Miami and Barbados and Anguilla. So all different kinds of fun eats. And of course, Minnesota sprinkled in quite often for anyone who's from Minnesota. And for weddings, it's Candid Content Weddings.
The amazing Kate Casey.
I want to thank my great guest, LIBBY LAMONT, and remind you to make sure that you click subscribe so you can get more of these episodes, and make sure that you leave a 5-star review. If you would love my what to watch list of what to watch every week in unscripted TV, so reality shows, documentaries, and series, go to katecasey.substack.com. And I've got bonus episodes on Apple Podcast and also on Patreon at patreon.com/KCasey. And also, make sure that you follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at @KCaseyCA, TikTok, it's KCasey, and Twitter Threads and Blue Sky at @KCasey. Check back Monday for an all-new What to Watch episode.
I've got 20 minutes till run club meets, and it's time for a quick pre-workout snack. Go Squeeze Active Fruit Blend to the rescue. Made with select B vitamins to help release energy, it's an easy, squeezable pouch made to move with me. The taste, so good. And made with real fruit, even better. Whether I'm hitting the trail or meeting my friends on the court, this is my go-to on-the-go snack. Quick, easy, ready when I am. When it's go time, I go with Go Squeeze Active. Snag yours on your next store run. Search for Go Squeeze on Amazon.